It's February now, and honestly, I am longing for summer days at the cabin already. Though I do enjoy winter, and there's a lot of winter left, there are some things we really need to wrap up before spring.
Do something like that, but I don't know what. I'll bring my luggage and something else, but I don't know what. Yeah, everything will be for sure.
Gotcha.
But I can tell that it's changed. I know when you lie,
Are you ready?
Ready.
Sweet.
Got everything you need out of the...
We are at the land again on our way out to the cabin. Today probably just for 5 or 6 hours. We're not spending the night, but we want to get everything completed in the cabin so that it's ready for the tongue and groove walls to be installed at a later date. We are currently on the trail that we have been working on making a little bit easier and a little bit nicer to walk through this winter. And we can see that a lot of other critters decided that our trail is nice too. It's full of like critter footprints. A lot of them are deer. You can see that they're deer hoof prints. Probably other animals too, like bunny. That's a bunny, isn't that a bunny?
Yeah.
Bunny tracks. It's perfect because it's super nice out today. What's the forecast?
It's probably about 18 degrees right now. It's going to warm up to about 30, mid-30s possibly.
No wind, so it feels even nicer, and it's finally sunny. We haven't been getting a lot of sun lately. It just feels really good to be outside, and the trail is easy to walk on today. We've already picked up a lot of the branches, so you can see that there aren't trees and branches and stuff in the way like there have been at previous states.
So what's on the to-do list for today?
We are going to work on electrical and plumbing and insulation. I'm holding up my fingers, but you can't see them in my hands. We're gonna do electrical, insulation, and plumbing, right?
Yes.
So
We got to get those done before we can put the paneling on.
and our tongue and groove paneling is pretty much ready. We just have to stain it before we can put it in, so.
And then haul it out here.
And get it to the cabin. That's the tough part.
Most likely a spring project. Packing light today.
Yeah, it's nice that we don't have to bring a huge sled or a whole bunch of like big backpacks because we don't need a whole lot just to go to the cabin for the day to work on it. We really haven't done that much. Just like go to the cabin for a day. You can see the cabin.
In our haste this morning, I forgot my hat and gloves. Fortunately, it is a beautiful day.
Also, I have extra hats and gloves in my car, so there were options.
Like I said, in our haste.
Do we have the memory card in the backpack?
Yes.
Sweet. I brought a memory card for our game camera that we have near the cabin. I just want to know what kind of animals are around here, so I set up a game camera, but the memory card that I put in the game camera doesn't hold a lot, and I didn't realize it was already pretty much full when I put it in the game camera. So I brought a different card to hopefully get photos of any animal that might come near the cabin. So far what we've seen are just like squirrels and bunnies, but maybe eventually once the animals get more used to our cabin being here, we'll see more exciting things. There are coyotes around, potentially wolves. There have been bobcats sighted near here lately, and lots of deer, so it'd be just kind of cool. Or a bear. There's a bear on this property too. Sweet. So I bought a new memory card for my game camera so I could see the animals, but the memory card I bought is 64 gigs, and when I put it in to the game camera, it said that the SD card may not exceed 32 gigs. So it's not compatible. That's so annoying because it's taken me months to actually finally order the card and then remember to bring it out here. And now I was so proud of myself for remembering to bring the card, and it doesn't work. So I just deleted the files that were on the current card, so there's room for a few more shots, but it really only holds like 8 shots and then it's full, so. We're only gonna be at the cabin for like 5 to 6 hours today, so we're just gonna barely get the cabin warm and then we're gonna leave, but that's okay because today's actually pretty nice and
We'll just have to work harder, faster.
Work harder and faster to stay warm. Right now it's like 18 degrees in here according to our thermometer, but
It's what, 12:30? So stay with us and watch the temp increase.
do you want a hat? You want my input?
Your input, yes.
On what?
So for the water pipes, we want it to slope downhill so that when we winterize, we don't have to hook an air compressor to it to pressure it out, to blow the water out.
Yep.
The water pump is at this level. We don't know where the water heater is going to be yet, but
it sounds like we're gonna start with the water and plumbing situation before we do other things. So Cory was talking about how we want the pipes to be at an angle to easily be able to winterize the water pipes. So we're kind of deciding how we want to set it up, and then we will install. So Cory said we're gonna trace a line on the wall or on the beams to see exactly what the angle will be, so we can drill the holes, run the pipes, and have it ready for water. We don't have a water pump out here, but we're gonna probably do like a rain catchment system, something like that. So we want to have it set up for that. Also, having water out here in the future isn't completely out of the question, but probably not.
We do have a water pump, we don't have a well.
Oh yeah, so we have a water pump to pump the water through the cabin. We don't have a well. I probably didn't say that right. We don't have a well here. I want to try to do a sandpoint well at some point. I don't know if this is the right place to be able to do that, but I would like to try, so maybe we'll do that in the future. We do have water on this property and a well on this property, just not at the cabin. So we do have access to water way over there.
Perfect. How much of a slope? Think that'll drain?
Yeah.
The more slope, the better.
We've had a few people comment under our videos worried about us putting up our vapor barrier over the insulation. And this is, I mean, any type of insulating is always controversial because there's so many opinions and so many different ways to do it. If you're in a wet climate or a dry climate, or if you're heating on the inside, or if you're air conditioning on the inside, or if you're near water or far from water, or if you're going to be using the building year round or not, all these things affect how you want to insulate and allow the vapor in and out of your walls. You can't ever guarantee that no vapor is going to get in your walls. So with our walls, we have our board right here, and we're putting insulation over the top of it. Our R board is not going to allow vapor, water, anything to like air out. So if we get moisture in the walls, which is really inevitable, at least to an extent, we have to be able to let it air out. So if we put a vapor barrier over the top of our insulation, we would be trapping moisture in our walls, which is like a huge no-no. So sometimes you put your vapor barrier on the outside of your insulation, sometimes on the inside. Again, depends on all the variables. Our vapor barrier is on the outside, so we will not be putting plastic on the inside to avoid trapping moisture and having mold. That's part of what went into us deciding to use rock wool. That's part of what went into just deciding kind of everything. But we do appreciate the comments and the concern and the input. But we have done quite a bit of research and consulted, and this is how we're going to do it. We will be able to dry out our walls by leaving no vapor barrier on the inside versus trapping the vapor in the walls, essentially. That gets in there. So I know everybody has their own opinions, but I wanted to explain that, especially if you are building something that is like unique or done a little bit differently than the mainstream. You will get a lot of opinions, and I just want to comfort you in that there are so many ways to do it, and if you've consulted and done your research, then you're probably, I mean, you can't do what everybody tells you to. We do appreciate the input.
We have a hot water line and a cold water line, so we need two holes. They could be one on top of the other, they could be sideways, kind of however you want to do it, but you know, I just kind of scratched a line on the wall. That's kind of a reference point. Yeah, we're gonna have to put a larger drill bit on the ones that we can't get straight in there.
My glasses fogged up, and it's like, is it safer because I'm wearing safety glasses, or is it more dangerous because I can't see anything?
That's always my dilemma.
I'm done.
Oh yeah, we got 12 degrees over here. Heat wave.
Yeah, this is cold. It's like really cold on my hands. You working on the electricity?
It's trying to.
The electrical?
Yes. Everything is cold and stiff.
Everything's frozen. We have some brats on the stove so that we can have lunch. So those are slowly warming up.
I know your face so well, but I can tell that it's changing.
You want to have lunch?
I'm always hungry.
I'm kind of hungry too.
It's really nice by the fire here. We got the wood stove cranked up.
It's 30 degrees in the cabin now. So we've pretty much doubled.
We've been here about not quite an hour even. I am wearing Jodi's hat because my ears did get cold.
Yeah, I had a hat that I left at the cabin. So that was perfect. Should we have lunch?
Alright, sure. Sounds good. Beautiful fire.
Do you have everything we need from the back?
Homemade brats.
I don't know if I can see it on there. Maybe I can. Yum.
Good.
Thank you. That's perfect.
We are running low.
Okay.
As luck would have it, drilling holes through the studs, we hit a nail and ruined the outside corners of the drill bit.
Again.
Spade bit. Again.
How many bits have we ruined in this cabin?
3 so far.
I just want to make it clear that I didn't do it.
Hey, you can throw me under the bus, that's perfectly fine, but I'm saying, hey, just by association, you're partly responsible, right?
No!
Oh, yeah, no, it's really hard to drill. Do not recommend this at home. Go to Menards and buy a new drill bit.
Menards is really far away.
Yeah, we're just thinking of our,
First of all, he's standing in our indoor shower. That's where the shower goes for the inside.
yes, the camera is at the doorway of the bathroom. This 4x8-ish section is going to be our bathroom. We're planning on having a shower area here and a toilet there, maybe a counter sink or who knows what there. But since we're doing the plumbing and we're doing it ourselves, it's not very difficult to have an outdoor shower system hooked up to our indoor water. This is going to be completely winterized in the winter, so we don't have to worry about it freezing. But our water lines are going to run through the wall here. We're going to tee up for the shower head, come down. But I think we're going to punch some holes through the wall and run tubing stubs We'll just cap them off for now and plumb into that at a later date. For the DIY van builders, van lifers, they have a really cool kit that you cut a section out of the van, and it's got a door on it, and your shower and your knob and valves are all built together. So might do something like that, might do something where it's a little more rustic with like copper, hard copper lines. Unspool the tube in the closet. I'll pull it through the wall. Oh, slow down, babe.
He said 3 minutes.
Not 1 minute. I don't like that dip right there.
I've insulated those 3 chunks. Now I have to do this part, which is like narrow, so I'll have to cut pieces, and then I'll work my way that way until we run into a place where we're not ready for insulation yet. Perfect.
Sound good?
Cory is running the wire to install the fan to be able to dry out the bathroom when it gets moist.
Your handle that controls the temperature and on off. And this will connect to the hot side, this will connect to the cold side, and then you have a single pipe up to your shower head. But since we don't have the valve, we can't mount the valve and finish the plumbing, so we're at a standstill with this right now.
So we won't be able to completely get the cabin ready for boards this weekend. We also kind of knew that we don't have quite enough insulation here this weekend. But we're doing what we can. So essentially the electricity is coming from the generator through that black cord, and then it goes to that junction box which separates it up to all of the outlets. So our lights are hooked up to battery, but all of our outlets are hooked up to the generator. So when we have the battery, like a car battery, or what's it called? What's the voltage on that thing?
Yeah, so just a 12-volt car battery.
12-volt car battery.
Or deep cycle marine battery, or if you get really fancy, maybe even lithium.
So our battery right there, which is basically a car battery, marine battery thing, is hooked up to the switch, which turns on all of our lights in the ceiling, but our outlets are separate from that and connected to the generator. So if we don't have generator, we don't have outlets. If we don't have battery, we don't have lights. They're on 2 separate things for lots of reasons.
If we want to plug in a phone outlet, a phone charger, we can do that while running the generator. Charge up our DeWalt batteries. When we start putting the paneling in here, we're going to need to run the generator for a chop saw, table saw, possibly an air compressor. But when we're camping out here, we don't expect to have power all times of the day. We may or may not have a refrigerator in the future. Dometic makes a 12-volt refrigerator. Could go that route, or we could go 120 volt. We'll see.
We have options.
We're not fixed on living the modern lifestyle.
But also, like, we have the option to do a lot more things with the battery plus the generator option.
Yeah.
And like solar isn't out of the question for the future. Like, there's possibility for that. We're not like
anti-social or anti-solar.
Yeah, we're not anti-solar. We're also not antisocial. Well, we're building an off-grid cabin, so maybe we're a little antisocial. Anyway, we're not anti-solar. We're not like super versed on all of the options for that, I guess. But one thing we do know is you need solar to run solar panels. And we've got a lot of tree coverage. There's an open space like way out that direction that we could put solar panels, but it's a swamp. So we're not like, if we just put solar panels on the roof, we wouldn't get any sun to it. One of the questions we get a lot is how far of a trek is it from where we park the car to where the cabin is? And I always answer like 3/4 of a mile, but I don't actually know. How far do you think it is?
So it's a 1/4 mile from the front to the back. We're basically in the back of our property. But our trail is not as a crow flies. You can see the swamp. We have to walk around the swamp, so it's at least a 1/2 mile, if not more than that.
To the new viewers of our channel, during the summertime or spring or fall, we have a 4-wheeler that we bring out here. Right now, there's just too much snow, so that wouldn't work. We're not against using a snowmobile in the future. Currently, though, we just haven't used the snowmobile. The trails this year kind of got destroyed by the storm, which doesn't happen every year. So now the trails are looking better as we like stood up a lot of the trees that were kind of bent over from the snow and the ice weight. Maybe we'll use a snowmobile in the future. Probably not this winter. It's not horrible to walk out here in the winter, and it's kind of nice when it's a nice day like today. It's probably gonna hit 30 degrees today, and it's kind of sunny, so that's nice. It gets us outside and gets us moving. But when we need to bring the boards out here for tongue and groove to put on the walls, that's going to be tough. So either we'll probably use something like that or we'll wait till spring. I can see the steam rising off of my knee. I don't know if you can see it in the video. Yeah, you can.
Yeah.
If you've been watching our videos, also you know that I'm obsessed with my electric gloves. Are they called electric gloves? Heated gloves that keep my hands really warm. Today it was kind of unnecessary because it's already nice out. But I did kind of get obsessed and acquired this heated jacket, which I think is the funniest name, Ororo, O-R-O-R-O. If you want me to do a review on this jacket, I can do that in a different video. Oh, the pipes fell over. So loud. But if you want me to review this jacket or other things, I can do that in a different video. I'm not going to do that right now, but I haven't used it a ton yet.
Every single time we come to the cabin, it feels like we get so much closer to the final product. I know it probably looks the same in the video, but it feels different. Now that we have insulation, the cabin warms up quicker and feels nicer and warmer. It looks different as well. The walls don't look hollow. They look filled and ready to have the next layer put on. The next steps are to finish up, like we said, the electrical and plumbing, the little things we just couldn't finish today. And then the tongue and groove is really going to transform our space. It's going to look like a whole new place in here. And I can't wait to show you our tongue and groove because, man, it's so pretty.
We didn't get everything done at the cabin to be ready for boards being installed, but we're gonna need more insulation, especially for the lofts, and a few more electrical things, and we need to buy a couple pieces for the plumbing. But it's good that we came here and we got as far as we could, and now we know what we need to buy to finish the rest of this stuff.
Pack meal.
Yeah, they're gonna comment about how you're carrying everything.
It's okay. I can do it.
So these are bunny turds, and it looks like the bunny stopped to let his turds out, but then like this still kind of had to go. And then there's a few up there too. He was like hopping away. He was still kind of letting it flow.
Time to stop. The coyote will get you. There's more over here too.
Really? There's like pooped through here the whole way.
Number one, the deer came through here after we did this morning, and they're eating the brush. The tips of the brush are all eaten. They're eating the bark down here. That's probably rabbits down there.
Is that normal, or do you think just because it's a tough winter?
It's normal. Yeah, you can see the deer hair.
Oh yeah, deer hair right on there. I don't know if you can see it on the camera. Oh, a little bit. You can see it.
The hair right here. They hungry. They're hungry.